Hello, welcome to UAN Cemetery Phase 3 training for new users. My name is Heather Held. I am a project accountant specialist here at UAN. I work on the phone lines. Today I will be going over the minimum requirements your computer will need prior to installing the cemetery software, the actual installation process, and then we will do a new cemetery demonstration. I will show you how you are going to input all of your cemetery data into the software, and then we will navigate around. I will show you how to complete transactions and how to use the new application. So, minimum requirements for your computer. You will need to have Windows 7 or above installed, SQL Server 2012, and that's only if it's already installed. If it's not installed, when you pop in the disk to start the process, it will install that for you. If you're using a UAN computer, it will automatically already meet all of the minimum requirements. Your computer will need 2 gigabytes of RAM or greater, and everything else that you see here on this screen. So the actual installation process. The first thing, and let me just let you know that you should have a copy of the instructional manual for cemetery along with your installation disk at this point. If you do not, please call UAN. We can get a copy mailed out for you. So again, the first thing you are going to do in the current UAN software is you're going to generate an upgrade key. It's the only thing that you will need to do within the current software. And the reason why we have you create an upgrade key, it is to prevent piracy. So you must be sure that 2015.3 version or newer is installed, and you must be an administrator in UAN. So that upgrade key that you are going to create, it's going to be located in your UAN e-files. So the actual installation process will begin when you pop in your disk, and there's going to be a little blue box that's going to pop up. I will show you this here in just a few minutes. But you are going to choose Upgrade Option C. If you do want cemetery to be installed on multiple machines, we can network for you. You can call the UAN line and we will assign you to a tech which can help you with that process. But for now, just worry about installing it only on one computer. So after you choose option C, it will take you through a setup wizard. And again, I will show you that here in just a few minutes. If you do have your cemetery manual there and you want to follow along throughout this demonstration, please feel free. Next, I am going to show you how the actual installation process is going to work. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into the current UAN application and you're going to create that upgrade key. So I'm going to go ahead and get logged in here and show you where you're going to do that. You're going to go to General, Maintenance, Entity Setup, and Modules. And this is where you're going to generate that key. You just go ahead and click on it. It'll give you a message, this is required. You're going to hit OK, and then it's going to tell you that it's located in UAN e-files. So now you can close out of there, and that is the only thing you'll need to do within the current UAN software. Now this is the point where you will go ahead and pop in your disk. Yours will do an auto run. For training purposes, I'm going to run the file we created. And so the first screen that you're going to see is that little blue box that I was talking about, and you're going to choose option C and hit start. So it's going to let you know that it is preparing to install. Really should just take a few seconds. You're going to hit next, next through these screens, and then you're going to click install. Now, depending on your computer, this part could take a few minutes, but generally shouldn't take too long at all. And then you'll hit finish. So the first thing that you will see is that you will now have a new cemetery icon located on your desktop. And it will also be located in your UAN drive as well. So the first thing the software will do, it's going to take you through a wizard. And if you could please note, please be sure to read through all of these screens at the top. It's going to tell you what each screen is going to be for and what you will need to do. So that'll help out. Make sure that you're using your installation manual as well. So you'll click next, and then for step 1, it's going to ask you where that upgrade key is that you created. So you can click on browse, and there it is. So then you'll click next, and since you do not have data to import, you will choose empty cemetery, and then click next. Step 3 will ask you for your entity information, and then also where your plat's location is, which is your burial book, usually located on file in the office where your cemetery data is, or computer. So we'll just enter town hall and click next. This is where you're going to enter in all of your officials. The way that you enter them will be the way that they are listed on the deed. So I'm going to go ahead and just enter in a few of our trustees. And then once you actually put someone or a title in the drop down, it'll be there for you when you enter in your next trustee. So now I don't have to enter it in, I can just drop down, there it is, and click save. And then we will go ahead and include our fiscal officer as well. We'll enter in her title and click save. Now you can change the order if you change your mind. Now all of these screens that I'm showing you, you will be actually able to go back in once all of this, the wizard is set up. I'll show you where you can do that, but you can edit. And just to let you know, Cemetery is completely separate from the current UAN software. You can have different administrators, you can have completely different passwords. They do not interact with each other. So if you don't necessarily enter in everyone that you want or want to change, then you certainly can do so, just like within the current software. This screen is how you're going to actually have your deed set up, the format. There is going to be a default. If you wanted to add something in to the header or the terms and conditions, then you could hit a text below and it'll give you the option to do so. You can choose whether you want a notary block to print or not, and then your paper size. And click next. Now, unlike the current UAN software, we are not going to require that you do a backup for your cemetery software. We do recommend it, but it's not going to be enforced. So you can actually uncheck that, or you could choose how often you do want the backup to be completed. Click next. Here are your wars. The merge wars, you're not going to need. That would have been for the clients who have already had our previous software, so don't worry about merged. All you're going to do is to click on all wars, and they're all going to be unique. So you hit unique and then next. Here is where you're going to add who the administrator will be. We'll go ahead and add Brutus. And you will be able to add additional users once in the software. And now I'm going to hit finish. It'll give you this little pop-up box that says the first time that you log in to your cemetery software, you are going to use lowercase UAN as your password. So we're going to enter in Brutus and lowercase UAN and click OK. It'll give you the message that here is where you can create your own customized unique password. Make sure you enter in the lowercase UAN and then whatever password that you. So here is your new cemetery software. As you can see, it looks very similar to the current accounting and payroll software. I do want to point out that the two applications do not intermix. You can have two separate administrators, two separate passwords, or the same administrators and the same passwords, but the two applications are completely separate. So let's go ahead and explore a little bit. As you can see up here in the right-hand corner, just like the current accounting and payroll software, you've got your calculator, your calendar, if you want to change the color of your application, you certainly can. This button right here, this globe, if you call into the UAN support line and we would need to remote into your computer to assist you with something, we're going to tell you to look for a little globe. This is the globe that we're talking about. So just a little FYI there. If it's after hours and you're stuck on something, you need some help, then you can click on the Need Help button and your cemetery manual will come up. You'll be able to use the table of contents to look up something and then it will help to guide you to resolve your problem. So let's go ahead and step into cemetery. As you can see, you've got transactions, reports and statements, and maintenance. So the first step you will take when you're ready to enter in all of your cemetery data is you are going to go into maintenance. So you can see here you've got all of your different modules, your entity set up just like in the wizard. If for some reason you were to need to go in here and edit your officials or deed format, change the amount of time you want to do your backups or unenforce it, you will do that in entity setup. If you want to add users, this is where you would do so. And then you've got your wars down here if you need to edit those for any reason. So the first thing you will do, again, when you're ready to enter your data, is to go into structures. As you can see here, these are the different types of structures you're going to be able to choose. I like to think of it as the United States. Cemetery would be in comparison to United States, which is broken down into the states, which the states can be broken down into counties, counties into townships. These here are additional structure types that if you wanted to add more structures, say you've got a very large cemetery and you wanted to add an additional row, then you could do so. You would come down here and you would hit edit. So you can also activate, deactivate. Once your cemetery is structured, it will be structured for all of the sections. You can't say, okay, well, in this section, I want lots, but not in another section. All sections will need to have lots. Okay? And let me just recommend something for you. Be sure that when you're adding your graves, and I'm going to demonstrate this here in just a minute, but when you're adding your graves, make sure that you're using numbers. Names won't work, and numbers are, I mean, there's an infinite amount of numbers, and it just works out best, you know, if you've got 6 lots and each lot has 8 graves, it's just going to be the best way for you to use a numbering system when it comes to your graves. So, cemetery and grave cannot be renamed, but the rest of these structures can. You can change the order, which you would use the move up and move down. But like I said, they can be renamed, these cannot. Make sure if you do add an additional structure type that you activate it. So let's go ahead and begin to structure our cemetery. You're going to check mark cemetery and hit edit. And then you're going to add the name. We'll just call it new cemetery. These little dots here, if you click on that, that's where you can add the address of your cemetery. So we'll go ahead and push this up into our box. We're going to save it and close. And then we're going to add some sections. So I'll check mark that and hit edit. Again, you can change the name. So for this section, let's go ahead and we'll add A, B, C, and D. We'll save that and close. Now we want to add our lots. How many lots are within each section? So let's do it by, we'll do numerical, the Roman numbers. I think I want one more. We're going to do, there we go, and hit save. Now I'm sure you guys have already got your cemeteries formatted, so you know, just have it kind of planned out in your head. If you want to look at it like a big large United States and kind of break it down, I would certainly have all of your information ready to go when you are ready to do this. All right, so we added our lots. Now let's add some graves. So we'll edit that. Remember, I said definitely try to use some numbers for this one. And I'm going to add 10 graves. All right, there we go. So we'll save that and we're going to close. So structures is just basically a way to organize your cemetery. After you've completed that, you're going to close that, and then you're going to go into cemetery design. And please don't be overwhelmed with what I am showing you right now. You will be able to go back online. There's going to be a recorded training that you can refer back to when you're ready to do this. And then also you've got the manual. It's a very detailed manual. So step by step, and you'll get it all in there. So once you go into cemetery design, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add your plots. Let me just explain what a plot is. Some people are not aware. It is the formal name when you're looking at it's the same thing as a grave. So plot is a grave. It is the smallest amount of land that can be purchased for a grave. Plot, grave, same thing. So you're going to add your plots. It's going to open up a design wizard. You'll go ahead and, again, read through these top things, these top little blogs. They will help you. Click Next. Now here is the new cemetery that we added. So we're going to check mark that and click Next. Here are all of the sections that we added. You don't have to choose all of the sections. So say that you have a cemetery, but D isn't going to be utilized yet, or maybe later on down the road you know you will use it, so that you're going to add it just so that it's already in the structure, but it's not ready to be used, so you're just going to leave it out right now. You can certainly do that. And we'll go ahead and choose all of these lots. Click Next. Ooh, do you notice something? Look here, out of order. It will do that. The text tiles for this application are set up because we don't know for sure if you're going to choose to use numbers. So because they could be letters, they could be, what have you. That's the way the text tiles had to set it up. So let me show you how you can fix that. So we're going to go ahead and quit this wizard. We're going to say OK for now. And then we're going to go back into structures. And we're going to go back to our graves. Hit edit again. And what you want to do is you're going to want to put zeros. You can edit these right here. You're going to want to put zeros in front of every number up to the highest number. So if you've got 100 graves, you're going to want to put 2 zeros. If you've got 1,000 graves, you're going to want to put 3 zeros. So I'm going to just go through here and add these zeros. Oop, down here. Oh, well, Heather, click. All right, so we'll get these straightened out here. Did it again. All right, so we'll save that and close. So we'll close out of structures, go back into adding plots within cemetery design, and we'll start our wizard again. New cemetery. Choose these sections. We only want A, B, and C this time. And click Next. All of these lots. Next. Now look, all of your graves are numbered in order. So that's a little fix that now you know the inside on. So click Next. And this is basically just a review of all of the plots or graves that you are getting ready to add. And we're going to click Finish. It's going to tell you you've now saved 120 plots. So we'll click OK. So now when you go into cemetery design, all of your plots will be here. Cemetery design is where you're going to go if you need to edit any of your plots, or if you're searching for a plot, you can do so here. So I'm going to show you a few pretty cool features about this section. You can edit a plot. Let me just go back here. You see these little filters here? You can use these filters to narrow down your list, so you can make it into something a little more manageable. So if you wanted to choose just section A, maybe lot 2, it's gonna reduce your list, so you only will be working on a certain section. That's all you need to have up. When you're ready to reset your list and you want to see everything again, then you're going to hit reset grid filters. So let's go ahead and edit one of these plots. So we'll mark it, come down here, hit edit. Now I want to point out, please do not be afraid of this. This is completely optional. You don't have to use any of this. You don't even have to open this if you don't want to. These are just additional features that if you want to use, they are actually really cool. The first feature I'm going to show you in Edit Plots is latitude and longitude. So say you look up the coordinates of where one of your plots is located, and then you enter it in here, and you come over here and click this map feature. What it's going to do is pull up a picture of exactly where your plot is located. You can look these up, the latitude and longitude coordinates, either maybe on Google. There are several different websites that will assist you with that. Maybe I can show you here in just a few minutes. Or you could say your Boy Scouts went around and figured out exactly where those coordinates are located. Then you can enter them in and you'll have that. You can print it out. Say you wanted to give a picture of the person who's buying this plot, you could do so, and you can save it to this plot. So we'll go ahead and save it and close, and then you can actually add it here, like I said, in this file. So you can also add any type of file that may be relevant to this particular plot. We'll just go ahead and add our cemetery key. And then one other thing in this screen that you can do is this plot's details. We're going to go ahead and save this for a moment and close. And we're going to go into this plot's details here and click add. So say you want to keep track of the monument height for this plot. You would go ahead and add it here and save and close. And then we'll go back into editing our plot, and it's going to be listed right here. So then you can enter the value. Maximum height is 5 feet. And you can enter that here. So some really cool additional features. Again, these are optional. Please don't be alarmed or frightened with these features. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. So we're going to go ahead and save that and close. So that is how you edit a plot. So let's go ahead and do something that you do pretty often. We're going to close out of Cemetery Design, and we're going to go here to Transactions. As you can see, you've got your burials, owners. These are your plot transactions. You've got buyback, deeds and transactions, sell, and transfer. So let's go ahead and sell a plot. I'm going to click on this, and as you can see, you can enter your deed number, the date, if it was paid or not, the price per plot, any comments that you may have, and then of course your owners, and this is the plots. This is where you would choose which plots you're selling. So the way that you add an owner, it's not with the green box. The green box is a drop down of the owners that are already in the cemetery database. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here. It says Add New. You're going to click on that, and it's going to bring up a box that you can actually enter in who is purchasing this plot. So we'll just enter in Jane Smith. You can enter in, the additional address, whatever else that you want to enter to keep track of who this owner is. We're going to save it. You can have multiple owners. So let's go ahead and add Jane's husband, John. Click Save. And as you can see, there can only be one primary owner. You can choose which one you want to be primary, but only one of them will be listed as the primary. So then we'll go down here and we're going to choose our new cemetery. You again have the grids that you can filter here. So let's say they decided they wanted to buy a plot in section B and in lot 3. And they want to purchase these 2 plots. So we're going to go ahead and click Save. It's going to ask you, do you want to print a deed for the selected plots? Why, yes, we do. It's going to ask you, do you want to include these plots on one deed, or do you want to separate them onto multiple deeds? You can choose which option. So we're going to go ahead and choose, we want them to print on just one deed. So it's going to bring up this screen. You can enter in your date. These are your officials. You can decide who's going to be signing. So this time, just our 2 trustees will be signing. And then you've got owners and plots. So this is the summation. As you can see, they haven't paid yet. And you've got your option, if it was just one person, how to read either his or hers, or if there's 2 people, it'll automatically click there. But say you wanted it to read Jane and John Smith. You can click this override button here, and you can manually type in and. So just a heads up, you can do that. And then you've got your deed format. So again, if you want it to override here, maybe you want it to add, maybe in your terms and conditions, an additional where the lot is located. You can actually come down here and add it so that it will print on the deed. And then of course you've got your paper size and whether you want a notary block to print or not. It also has this preview button. So if you click on preview, it'll show you exactly how your deed is going to print out. Now you cannot print from preview. You would actually have to close this and print it here. I do not have a printer set up for training, so we're going to go ahead and just close. I'm going to say no. So that is how you sell a plot. And then you've also got these buybacks. These are very similar to sell. They work the same. As you can see, just about the same screens. And the same thing for transfer. You also have your owners right here. You can go in and edit any information that you may need to edit about any of your owners. Say they moved, what have you. You can do that here. And so say John and Jane came back in and they paid for their plot. So you can go here, this is deeds and transactions, and you can find with your grid filters their plots. And I'm just going to mark one and hit edit. And then you can come in here and say yes. Now they have paid. So any information that you wanted to edit about your deeds and transactions, this is where you would do it. So it'll ask you again if you want to print a deed. No, we don't want to this time. So that's deeds and transactions. And then next, what I want to show you is how to bury someone. So I'm going to go here into burials, and I'm going to click add. This is where you can choose which plot they're going to be buried in. So again, let's go ahead and we can filter. We'll filter by purchased. You can filter if you know the section, the lot, what have you. And we'll choose which plot. Now you don't have to, it doesn't have to be an owner that's buried in this plot. Say we're burying Uncle Jim. Can be someone who doesn't own the plot. And this is where you would enter in all of his information. He's lived a long, happy life. We'll go ahead and he was born in 1915. He just had his 100th birthday. Can enter that information. So now Uncle Jim has earned his wings. You can choose if he's a veteran or not. You can enter in which wars he was in. So maybe he was in Vietnam. I don't know, maybe Uncle Jim's a little bit too old for Vietnam. Maybe he was in the World War II, maybe? So at any rate, this is where you can enter the war. And then here in this additional information, let me show you what you can do. I'm going to save this and close it. And I'm going to go back here into our maintenance screen. And I'm going to go to burial details. And I'm going to click add. So say you wanted to keep track of Uncle Jim's medals or any of your veterans' medals. Then you would add it here in burial details. And then we'll go back into our burial and click edit. And then here in this additional information, that's where those medals are going to show up. You can enter the value there. So he earned 3 purple hearts. So burial details is just a way to enter any additional information that you may want to keep track of about the person being buried. And that is how you bury someone. So just click save and close. And then the last thing that I'm going to show you is going to be reports and statements. Let's go ahead and go into grave reports. Grave reports is where you're going to find any information about all of your plots. As you can see, you've got your bequest reports, cemetery summary, sales and fees, transaction log, veteran reports. Veteran reports, obviously, if you've got someone who isn't a veteran, they're not going to show up on these reports. So really, grave reports is going to be the best type of report that you can make sure that you're looking to find something that has to do with any of your plots. Make sure that you're looking in the drop down to see which report may be best for you. You can play around with the sorting and options. You can sort by different things depending on the report. And then you've got your search feature. So say we're looking for the plot for John Smith. If you enter in his name here and you click this little search, it's going to bring up any plots that John Smith owns. Now, as you notice, even though Jane Smith is the primary owner, John still showed up. It's still filtered because he is obviously on this deed. There he is. So play with the reports a little bit, figure out which ones work best for you. You do have the different ways you can filter here as well, and use those to your advantage. This now concludes the end of our new cemetery software new user training. I hope this has been a useful resource for you. If you do need assistance with your software or have questions, please do call the UAN support line. Our number is 1-800-833-8261. And I thank you for your time. Have a great day.